Funding for Avery Talks About Stuff was made possible in part by the YouTube AdSense program and by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you! Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I cover nostalgic, obscure, otherwise strange content. A few weeks ago, I did a video on old Mickey Mouse cartoons that are now in the public domain and how weird they are, and, you know, how much time has changed, like, the Disney IP and the way that they portray their characters and the stuff that they make. Anyway, I found a batch of Goofy cartoons. You guys might remember, in the 40s and 50s, Disney had this ongoing popular series of how-to videos starring Goofy. They were cartoons that kind of mimicked the how-to PSA videos of the time. We've covered several of those on this channel over the years. They brought the cartoons back a little bit on Disney Plus during the pandemic, and if you're my age, in the 90s and 2000s, they played them a lot in between shows on the Disney Channel. I found a couple that are just wildly of their time. Content warning for that. We're dealing with some older cartoons. There's gonna be some fuck shit going on. I'm gonna start with this one called Tomorrow We Diet. So be prepared for very outdated attitudes on eating and food and diet culture. Personally, as a woman that's dealt with eating disorders myself, just be careful, you know, if any of this kind of stuff triggers you. And obviously this is not like to cancel Disney or Goofy or anything like that. I just, you know, I love to dig into stuff that falls under like nostalgic content and just look at it as a kind of like time capsule of its time and be willing to be like, ah, yes, this brings back good memories. Also, that's fucked. We don't say that anymore. So, anyway, let's just get into it. Yeah, this looks like it came out in 1950, so you know the nutrition facts are going to be just so wrong. I recently did a short that I put at the end of one of my more recent YouTube videos, where I took quotes from an old 1950s Girl Scout handbook that I have and used it as narration. And by the way, when I was flipping through that book, I realized that they had a nutrition wheel. The wheel had like equal parts of all the different food groups, and they were saying you needed like even amounts of like vegetables and butter and bread and all kinds of things. So, you know, the food pyramid, the food wheel, the whatever the fuck we had when I was in school, it's all kind of bullshit anyway, but it's just very funny to see like 1950s stuff about like nutrition. Anyway,
man was born hungry.
All genders, all the time. We're fucking hungry.
Eating became a habit.
Hello, handsome.
It's so weird to hear Goofy talk with not the Goofy voice, isn't it?
Hello, fat.
Rude.
Why, I'm as fit as a fiddle.
A bass fiddle.
Soul-crushing dialogue aside, the reflection is the same build as Goofy himself, so like, I don't know why he's coming for him so hard. I don't know where to start on this one.
No one can call you fat. Where to, fat?
Yeah, great customer service. Way to really make that sale. Just offend the person who's paying you money.
I must be getting fat.
So after everybody fat shames Goofy for like half of the short, he decides that he wants to go on a diet.
What you got there, fat?
Oh yeah, back in the like mid-century 50s, they called it reducing, which is somehow such a creepy way to say it to me.
Let's face it, Chubby. Your trouble is eating.
Eating?
Yeah, because eating is great.
No bread, gravy, beans, potatoes, pie, cake, cream, sugar, spaghetti, butter, starch. Just good old substantial low-calorie food.
Yeah, back in the 50s when they didn't realize that if your calorie intake is too low, you're also going to retain weight because your body goes into literal starvation mode.
But better yet, firmly place the hands on the table and push.
Science wasn't really there yet, apparently.
Get thee behind me, salami.
Get thee behind me, salami. Oh, it's so stupid.
No munching between meals.
But fingernails can't have that many calories. Ugh. That's like one of the grossest things I've ever said.
Try a new hobby. Read a book.
Yeah. Eat tender ham. Eat delicious pies.
Yeah, I don't really think that's a book.
Eat cold cuts. Eat trout golden brown.
Eat French pastry a la mode.
Eat
Cream puffs.
Eat
Ham and eggs.
Real talk, if you're hungry, you should eat. Just straight up. I don't know who needs to hear that. If you're hungry, eat. You're hungry for a reason. I have low blood sugar, and I have learned the hard way that if you don't eat, you faint. Like, real talk, when I was a kid, like teenager, I used to wait until I literally was about to collapse to eat. And I realized in my 20s that I didn't fully understand what being hungry was, because I thought you weren't hungry until you were, like, unable to concentrate on anything other than food. This probably doesn't make sense to most people, but I know somebody else out there can relate to this. Just realized I've been accidentally starving myself all this time.
Ha! Eat, drink, and be merry, and tomorrow we diet.
And then the punchline is that the reflection was just bullying him out of eating so that he could steal all of his food. Anyway, I was gonna line up, like, a bunch of these, because they're only, like, 5 or 6 minutes apiece. But then I just realized I had a ton to say about that particular subject matter, so, let's do one more, though. Okay, here's one about keeping yourself from getting sick. Let me know in the comments if you guys like these, and I'll do more. I can do future videos. You guys really liked the last time I did old Disney cartoons, so, you know, here we are. Cold War. It's funny because in 1951, there was a Cold War. Fun fact, did you know that George Orwell named the Cold War in a 1945 article that he wrote? Anyway, this is about goofy cartoons.
Although the virus wins few friends, he influences many people. Sometimes the average man seems to deliberately try to catch cold.
Fun fact that I don't think they fully grasped in 1951. Being cold by itself does not make you sick, but what happens is the cold lowers your immune system, so that if you are then exposed to viruses, bacteria, etc., it's harder for your body to deal with it properly. Anyway.
Keith! Take that cold out of here!
I actually kind of wish bosses were like that more now. Like, nowadays, in modern America, it really feels like people are like, oh, if you can walk, you better come into work. Like, I work in the film and TV industry. I've been forced to come in sick so many times. I probably got a bunch of other people sick because my boss wouldn't let me call out. Just stop making people come in sick.
Hello? I feel awful.
Just yelling that into an empty room is so funny.
Dinner and icebox. Deserted.
That's such a mood. Actual video footage of my medicine cabinet. I don't like the implication that Goofy has human feet. I'm gonna be thinking about that for longer than I should.
Hi, honey.
Hello.
What are you doing home?
I don't feel good.
Am I ever glad to be home? My, what a day.
I'm sick.
Oh yeah, and I forgot how in the 50s the running thing was that Goofy was in a abusive, toxic marriage. To a completely human woman, by the way. More questions I'm gonna be thinking about.
But anyway, George. George, are you listening?
And his name is George in this one? Okay.
We'll break that old cold.
Jesus, she's trying to overdose him.
You look feverish. Probably just getting a cold.
No, really?
It's all in your head.
It's all in your head? That's not how colds work.
Sleeping like a baby.
But apparently the war crimes committed against Goofy help his cold go away?
And so, 2 weeks later, Mr. Geef's cold had run its natural course.
2 weeks later? Did people's immune systems just generally suck? In the 50s? Damn.
Mr. Geef was firmly convinced that a cold is nothing to be sneezed at.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright, that's the end of that one. I think I will leave you guys here for this one, but let me know if you want to see more. Yeah, the 1950s were a lot. Disney was a lot. Everything was a lot. But I hope you liked this video. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing. Everything you do to support this channel means the world to me. If you're new here and you're a fan of nonsense, maybe consider sticking around. I post nonsense all the time. If you'd like to enable my nonsense, maybe consider becoming a member. You get extra perks. But remember, my name is Avery. I'm a YouTuber if you say so, because thanks to you guys, this is technically a YouTube channel. Bye!